is Anthony Maher from the Kansas City Comets. I'm from Cape May, New Jersey. I'm 24 years old.
Well, ever since I can remember, I wanted to play professional soccer. I remember 6 years old, my parents got me into a league and started playing with the older kids. And ever since then, you know, we had motivation to play and get better and get as good as the guys I was playing with, because I was always playing an age or two up. So started at a real young age.
They wouldn't have called it.
D'Amico drives it in deep for Maher. He volleys it.
I played more outdoor soccer, you know. That was more commonplace in New Jersey. But, you know, once the winter came, you know, you couldn't play outside anymore. We would go inside and continue playing indoor soccer. And that's when I started getting a little bit of passion for indoor soccer. Well, outdoor soccer, you know, it's the world's game. It's 11v11. It's the beautiful game, you know. It's the world's #1 sport. It's just like the perfect form of any game, you know. You got 11 players competing against each other and playing against each other's systems. And then indoor soccer, you come on in 6v6, shorter time on the ball, a lot more physical. You got to be a little bit more skillful to play indoor soccer. But the creativity allows you to be more dynamic as a player.
They're trying to keep him fresh for games. Kylie Couch turns it over. Here comes Maher up the touchline. And here comes Kansas City on the counterattack. Namaski. Sagu on the carpet. Namaski can't fire. Here's the shot and a goal for the Comets. It's Anthony Maher. And suddenly it's a 2-goal game at Kemper. The sidekick 7, the Comets 5.
It's the generic rules of outdoor soccer, but the indoor soccer, you know, is so much more fast-paced. Goalies, you know, they have to play the ball they have 5 seconds on the ball. So there's always got to be movement off the ball to help the goalies and give them options. You know, each shift, because it's like almost like hockey. You play 45 seconds to a minute and you're off the field. So you put everything you got into that 45 seconds to a minute, and then you rest for 45 seconds and you're right back on. So it drains you mentally and physically, but it also prepares you for the next level.
A 3-line pass illegal, so he gets beyond the yellow, drives it into the corner. Eric Day keeping Gillespie off the ball. Brown heads it to Sagu in front of the goal.
Currently I'm playing indoor soccer, so we have the walls around us. We got an arena closing in on us, so we can use the walls to help us play the ball and play with each other. But you use any part of your body in soccer. You can use your foot, your thigh, your chest, your head, any way you want to get that ball and back it in net. You know, I've seen so many crazy goals from people heading it off their noses to their knees. No hands, though. You can't be using any of your hands. The only guy that can use their hands is the goalkeepers. And the goalkeepers have their own little skill. They get to get the ball with their hands. They can whip it out, throw it out to you guys, and start to play from there. But indoor soccer, we have the walls that we can use, and it's a more game where fans can really get more interactive with it, and I really enjoy the fast-paced game of it. You know, the season so far, we started out slow. I had a hernia surgery from over the summer playing outdoor soccer, so I missed the first 4 or 5 games. But individually, it's going well. You know, I've been scoring some goals. Lately, the team's won 3 games in a row. We pretty much secured our playoff spot for the league, and, you know, the morale is high on this team, and we're looking to win the championship this year.
Much faster than the Comets.
Well, from the opening whistles, Kansas City's legs have looked real heavy. Again, I mentioned.
And here's Maher with a nice side-winding volley to score for the Comets. But they've had to earn their goals tonight, and Maher certainly deserves this one.
Well, I was raised in a Christian family, you know, but everything that I centered my life around was more soccer. You know, ever since high school, you know, I used God more or less when I had a big game coming up. And then once I got to college, you know, I used them a little bit more. Our relationship really wasn't growing, but, you know, I was always focused on soccer, getting to the next level, turning pro, getting drafted. And then I had an awesome opportunity. I went to Charlotte, North Carolina. They have a Christian-based organization out there, professional soccer. And I'm like, hey, I'll go out there. You know, these Christian kids probably can't play that well, you know. Even though I was a Christian, you know, I was thinking I'd go out there and just take over. But it was just, you know, the Lord put that opportunity for me to go out there, and I learned so much. Those guys were the hardest working guys I ever played with or against. To make a long story short, I didn't wind up making that team. I thought that was a for sure contract ready to go. And I just put the seeds in for me to really get closer to God and my walk with Him. And then I had an opportunity where I played in the summer, Wilmington, North Carolina, outdoor professional soccer. I was roommates with a couple Christian kids, and that's when I really started to establish a relationship with Christ and get more in the Word and just build on a relationship. And ever since then, you know, soccer has just been, you know, I've been trusting God and everything. He's been directing my path. I had a problem with planning out things on my own, trying to set my own goals, and now I just put everything in His hands and let Him direct my path, and things have been unbelievable. A lot of things went on last summer. I was playing in Milwaukee, one of the better organizations in the country for outdoor soccer, and you know, things weren't going too well with the coach and I's relationship, you know, so I started to get a little bit of attitude, a little bit of swagger, and next thing I know, I had a hernia, and so that put me on the sideline. During the hernia, I'm recovering, you know, I had surgery. You know, I'm thinking I'm going back to Cleveland for my second year as pro because I was Rookie of the Year there. You know, I thought I had everything set up. Once again, it was my plans, not God's, and you know, things got worked around with the league. I got traded to Kansas City, where I am now. And, you know, I was bummed out, you know. It felt like a lot of adversity was coming my way, and, you know, I was fortunate enough to have good people around me to refocus and, you know, get back to Christ and figure out, you know, that's His will and everything happens for a reason. And, you know, this has been unbelievable out here so far, and, you know, it's meant to be.